Professor of the Penn State University, Director General of Rohingya Union, Founding Chairman of Burmese Rohingya Association, North America, and President of Muslim Aid America. Wakar Rohingya Union was formed by OIC, and it is recognized by all the 57 members countries of OIC as the official organization of Rohingya people. Please welcome Dr. Wakar Uddin.
Thank you, Asaf. Thank you very much for joining this session. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Welcome to this session. We have been very fortunate to have the Rohingya session in ISNA for many, many years. Some of you may have attended in the previous sessions, and this year again we are fortunate to get the space and time in this prime time of the day, in this schedule. We have spoken on Rohingya issues, as you have seen many years in these conferences and many other conferences. Since we spoke last year in this session, unfortunately, nothing has changed on the ground in Arakan, in Myanmar, in Burma. The same persecution policy has continued. In some cases, situation has gone worse. Human rights violations against Rohingya people are at its peak at this moment. On top of that, military campaign has started since October 2016. The military campaign has started against Rohingya civilian population. Now it is extensively going on in many townships, especially in northern Rakhine State, particularly in Maundo and Butidong townships. Military campaign against Rohingya civilian population. Let me stress that, campaign against Rohingya civilian population. Not any other insurgent groups, armed groups. They are arresting people, torturing people, violating human rights of men, women, and children from the villages. Although persecution policy against Rohingya people by the previous military governments has started several decades ago, 50 plus years ago, the violence against Rohingya people has started in 2012, June of 2012. That was orchestrated by the Burmese military intelligence operatives. There was a setup in 2012 in southern Rakhine State that they have attacked a group of Muslim pilgrims, Tabligh Istima people from central Burma, Myanmar Muslim. They were attacked as strategically. They are attacked and then continued the violence as of today. The violence has been frequent, comes and goes situation, but it never stopped. This violence, orchestrated by the military and committed by the Buddhist extremist elements and Rakhine Buddhist population, has resulted in displacement of many Rohingya people. There are over 140,000 Rohingya people are displaced internally in IDP camps in Rakhine State. And there are over 1 million Rohingya people dispersed around the world. Many of them are as refugees in Bangladesh, nearly 500,000 estimated. There are only 38,000 are registered by the United Nations as refugees. The remaining about 250,000 Rohingya refugees are languishing in Bangladesh camps, refugee camps, as non-registered refugees. And they will not get enough supplies, adequate supplies from international NGOs because they are not designated as refugees by United Nations, the unregistered refugees. There are refugees estimated over 50,000 in India, various parts of India. There are refugees in Thailand, Sri Lanka. There are a lot of Rohingya living like refugees in Malaysia, although their situation is a little better, and Indonesia. So these are the situation, and Middle East. These are all forced out. These people are forced out from Burma through the military's persecution policy against Rohingya people. So the question comes, why? Why are these people in Burma, the military government and extremist Rakhine Buddhists are doing this to Rohingya people? What do they want to achieve by driving out people from their own land, the Rohingya people's homeland, indigenous population, native of Arakan, are Rohingya people? What is their objective? Simple and straight. They want to eliminate the population. They want to eliminate Rohingya population from their own homeland, so they can have entire state of Rakhine State as a purely Buddhist state. They have due to the growing ideology of religious purity and religious ethnic purity. Pure Rakhine State, pure Buddhist state. No Muslims, no Rohingya Muslims should be there in their native land. Let me stress that these are indigenous people. Government, Rohingya people have lived for centuries. There's historic evidence. Myanmar government knows that. They have the evidence, they have the archives, but they all ignore it. So there's no point talking about history because they know the truth, but they don't want to accept it. They want to eliminate the population. How they want to do it? They want to do this through destruction of ethnic identity and religious identity of Rohingya people. That's why government of Myanmar does not accept the term Rohingya. They are not recognized. They oppose the term Rohingya because Rohingya name is the foundation of the ethnic identity, and Myanmar government rejects that historic name of Rohingya. Government has initiated a newer strategy. A step-by-step strategy. It will take time. They are going to go through a step-by-step process. Now, the two biggest crises we are facing in Rakhine State with regard to political crisis. One is NVC card, National Verification Card. Let me explain what that is. A lot of people know in the international community, a lot of people do not know what this NVC card that originally military has instituted this card. Unfortunately, new government of Myanmar, Aung San Suu Kyi's government of Myanmar has adopted to the policy. There are various reports of the pressure coming from military on the new government because military controls national agenda. Although they said they have democracy in Burma. This card, NVC card, Myanmar government is deceiving international community through this NVC card. They call it like green card in US. What is green card in US? Pathway to citizenship. You have green cards 3 to 5 years and you become citizen. That's how we'll do the same thing. You have naturalized citizen. When you get a green card here and then become citizen, become naturalized citizen. When you become naturalized citizen in this country, you are the same as any other citizen, except that you cannot be president of the United States. You can even run for Congress. There's no difference. But this naturalization attempt by the government of Burma is ill-devised. It has a very bad intention because once Rohingya people are given this NVC card, they will have to go through process, and that during the process, if they are approved, again, let me emphasize that if their application is approved, they could be denied. If they are denied, they will be languishing in their camps, homeless. If they are approved, they will be granted class 3 citizenship, naturalized citizenship. There's no equal right to class 1, regular, normal citizenship, first class citizenship that Rohingya people has maintained for many decades. So that's the idea. They want to downgrade. Okay. Basically, they want to legitimize the persecution policy through legal ways by giving them naturalized citizenship. So that is what they are going after, Rohingya people. Worse in this NVC is, the worst thing in NVC is Myanmar government is pressuring Rohingya people to write Bengali in the NVC card and naturalization card. So you write Bengali in the NVC card and you become illegal immigrants from Bangladesh. The citizen Rohingya, the indigenous population Rohingya, they are trying to transform Rohingya to illegal Bengali immigrants. So they can be naturalized, they can be some of them, and they can be given third-class citizenship. That's the idea. Rohingya people will never accept to change their name to Bengali. We will be proud to be Bengali if we are Bengali. Bengali are people like anybody else. We will not be ashamed to be Bengali, but why should we be Bengali while we are not? That's the argument we have. So Rohingya people will never, ever, ever accept the name Bengali because we are not going to change our identity. That's the central point we want to make. So these are the political issues we are facing. Citizenship issues, human rights issues. They revoke the citizenship, the violating human rights, committing human rights violations in so many ways. You know, I don't want to repeat all this. We have heard that travel restriction, marriage restriction, violations of human rights, freedom of worship, deprivation of freedom of worship, education, access to government services. I can go on and on and on. These are crises facing, and then we lost the citizenship. Those are political issues that we are facing. On top of that, we have serious humanitarian issues today we are facing. Humanitarian issues are facing because there are refugee camps, there are IDP camps, because of the violence against Rohingya people. There's shortage of food, shortage of life-sustaining supplies in IDP camps inside Burma, as well as in refugee camps in Bangladesh, India, Thailand, and other countries. So there are multitude of problems, humanitarian problems faced by the refugees. Currently, security issues in northern Rakhine states is spiraling because military campaign. As we speak, Burmese military is conducting campaigns in Rohingya villages, arresting people, killing people, civilian population. There's no insurgents in the villages. There's no anybody who was holding arms, but they are just using that excuse to arrest people and intimidate people. They have set up checkposts in every corner of the street, every road, every transportation routes, the checkpoints. They will unload the Rohingya from the cars, vehicles. They'll unload them, and then they will ask for identity, they will ask for all kinds of documents, and extortion, hundreds and thousands of kids, hundreds of thousands of kids have been extorted by Rohingya people, what their transportation point and checkpoints. That's taking place as we speak now. So these are military issues, military campaigns taking place on top of all the political crises faced by Rohingya people. I can go on and on, but I will stop that. What's going on at this point. You can look on internet, you can look on Google it. There's reports coming out. There's a lot of information you will be able to find in our websites, our Rohingya Union website, as well as many other websites. We asked government of Burma, current government of Burma, led by Aung San Suu Kyi, that to permanently stop the NVC process, National Verification Card process. If Aung San Suu Kyi's government wanted to have a positive attitude, different policy than the military government, they should take a different approach to this problem. Not adopting the same philosophy, the same procedure, the same policy of NVC. NVC is not devised by Aung San Suu Kyi's government. I want to make it clear. NVC was not devised by Aung San Suu Kyi's government. It was devised by a former military dictatorship. And we do not believe that Aung San Suu Kyi's new government and the government should adopt this ill-devised policy by the military government. Instead, we call upon the government of Burma, the government of Aung San Suu Kyi, to reinstate the NRC. I will explain what NRC is briefly. National Registration Certificate, NRC. The NRC is the citizenship of Rohingya people, NRC. That Rohingya people has maintained for many decades. The government of Myanmar, democratically elected government of Myanmar, has given Rohingya NRC, National Registration Certificate, like they did to any other ethnic minority. Since 1947, since the independence, 1948, prior to independence, 1947, and then independence in 1948. So those NRC card has been confiscated strategically, systematically by the government of Burma from Rohingya people. And those NRC card, which was given by the government of Myanmar, must be reinstated. We call upon the government of Myanmar, current government of Myanmar, to respect that and give Rohingya back the NRC cards. We are asking the international community. We've been grateful to international community to standing by the Rohingya people and supporting the cause, and a lot of actions and activities took place in at the international level. Our Rohingya Union, along with OIC, has worked past several years with United Nations General Assembly, United Nations Human Rights Council, and recently United Nations Security Council. And we have worked with US government, the State Department, previous White House, and US Congress, and OIC, EU, and others. So, but there are some significant progress have been made, but international community can do more. So, I will leave that what international community, what Rohingya people ask international community, what they can do to further advance this cause of Rohingya. I will leave that for our next speaker, Dr. Azim Ibrahim, who will go into detail what you can do in the international community, Muslim Ummah can do, international community can do to further advance this cause of Rohingya. Thank you very much. Jazakumullah khair.
Assalamu alaikum again for coming late. Thank you, Dr. Wakar Uddin, giving us our vulnerable Rohingya community suffering in detail. As you know, Rohingya communities are the most persecuted human being in the face of the earth.